Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a good day. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about serving the flesh and killing the spirit. We're in a society that teaches us we need to live our dreams. We need to have dreams. We need to fulfill these dreams. We need to be successful, right? And the funny thing is that the worldly success has nothing to do with God. So God's success for you can mean a small piece of property, a little bitty house, and a gorgeous family who has all the morals and values, who has God in their heart. You have a clean home, you have food to eat, you praise God, you live happily. That can be God's success for you. But the world tells you need to be successful in the worldly way, where you need the white picket fence, you need the big house, you need the fancy schools. You know, in the book of Romans, it says the more they called themselves philosophers, the more stupid they grew. So schools are not even important, to be honest. Like it is in a way to learn and grow in things in certain aspects of your life, but you don't need schools as in like you have to go to college. You have to be a successful entrepreneur or whatever, you know? So our ideas of success can mean going completely against God's will. And it's always important to pray and understand that God has a will for you and for your life, but you can definitely be going against the grain and fighting against what God has for you by having these ideas. Because your ideas can become, you can worship ideas. A lot of people suffer because of their own ideas. They suffer in their life because they are gung-ho on being or living up to these ideas that they have for their lives. So for instance, like if you have a long list of like, you want a man, but you want this man to be tall, dark, handsome, this, that, and the other, then God has a man over here for you, but it doesn't fit your so-called standards or whatever your standards may be. God has this man over here for you, but he might not be tall. So you just say, I'm not going to be with him, but that might have been the guy. And then you go be with this guy who ends up being like an abuser or a narcissist or something like that. That's the kind of world we live in because we have all these ideas and we idolize our ideas and that becomes your God. Your idea becomes your God and it's so dangerous. Okay. In the book of wisdom, I love the book of wisdom. The book of wisdom is not in the King James version of the Bible. But in the book of wisdom, it says that these people, they're talking like our life is short and dreary, nor is there any relief when man's end comes. And then it goes down to say, it says, yes, our days are passing of a shadow. From our death, there is no turning back. The seal is set and no one returns. Come then, let us enjoy the good things there are. Use this creation with the zest of our youth. They're like, we're going to enjoy this. We're young. Like you literally have like 10 good years out of your life. Probably like from your 20s to your 30s is like your youth. Because when you're a teenager, you're too really insecure to enjoy your youth and too like confused. And then in your 30s, it's like you think you're too old or like you think your youth has passed you by. So it's like you're 10 good years and you're done, right? You got those 10 good years and that's the zest of your youth. So like you're selling your soul for that. I mean, I'm not saying like that's the only time you can enjoy life, but most people like look at that as that's the young, that's your youth. And it says, take our fill of the dearest wines and perfumes. So they're like, let's just do this. What the celebrities do. This is what they push on you. They want you to take your fill of the wines, take your fill of the perfumes, because that's what's going to make you happy. The shopping, being successful, having the handbags that you want, having the house that you want, that doesn't bring any kind of happiness because when you're disconnected from God, there is no happiness. And I will repeat that. When you are disconnected from the true creator, there is no happiness. You will not find happiness. It's all an illusion. The devil gives you this illusion because it's adrenaline. It's like you're getting high off of whatever it is that you're doing. So it's like a little adrenaline rush and you're like back down again and you're back up again and you're back down because without God, you don't have a true peace, a true happiness. It's like, but it says, take our fill, let not one flower of springtime pass us by. Therefore, okay, so he says don't let one flower of springtime pass us by. Like we are going to enjoy this life. We're going to just forget about God, forget about all that, and we're going to enjoy this life, okay? before they wither, crown ourselves with roses. So they're going to crown themselves with roses. They're going to enjoy this life. They're going to get the best wine, the best perfumes. And it says, let none of us forego his part in our orgy. Let us leave the signs of our revelry everywhere. This is our portion. This is the lot assigned to us. Okay. These people, they teach you to enjoy your life, enjoy the flesh, serve the flesh. By the time you're old enough to actually get wisdom in your 30s, you have done picked up so many demons. So many demons have clung onto you and jumped on your back, and you're carrying all these demons around because you done slept with this one. You done got a drinking problem. You got a pill problem. You got cigarettes. You got this, that. And it's like, you got to find a way to get these demons off of you. And instead of the elderly teaching us now, we're living in a world where the elderly is like out at the clubs. The elderly is got all these demons on their back that they never got rid of. So we have a whole world full of nothing but demonic people because they never dealt with their sin. They never dealt with what they were supposed to deal with so they could teach the youth. So the youth isn't even getting taught. You know, maybe they have to come on YouTube to get taught. As for the virtuous man who is poor, let us oppress him. He said, as for the virtuous man that is poor, let us oppress him. Oh no, this is exactly what they're doing. They're oppressing the virtuous man. And this is what these demons do, because once you get these demons on your back because you are serving Satan and you're full of demons because you have all these things that you're doing. And it's not like you're just falling and getting back up saying, oh, I sinned. Let me get back up. Let me put my armor on. Let me fight these demons, right? We as children of God, we do sin and we fall short of God, but we're not living in sin, because that's when you get all these demons attached to you. Because again, I always say demons bring their friends. This demon is going to bring his friend of sexual immorality. This demon, the smoking demon, is going to bring the pills. The smoking demon is going to bring the videos, you know, the sexual immorality videos, and it's just gonna keep going because it doesn't end. The demon is hungry. A demon, you ever seen that movie, Little Shop of Horrors, I think it was. It's this big old plant. He's like, feed me, Seymour. And it is, oh my gosh, it tells you the story. It tells you the story, y'all. The demon wants you to keep feeding it. And it's never going to be enough because the devil wants your soul. It's all about stealing your soul at the end of the day. It's not about anything but your soul. That is what this life is about. This whole life is about holding on to your soul for dear life and holding on to your children's soul. It says, we're going to oppress the poor. Let us not spare the widow. Let us not even spare the widow, y'all. Nor respect old age, white hairs with many years. Let our strength be in the yardstick of virtue, since weakness argues its own fertility. Let us lie in wait for the virtuous man, since he annoys us and opposes our way of life. Y'all think this ain't the Illuminati, all these people? You think they're not oppressing people who have God in them? See, they try to. I mean, they can only go so far because what power do they have? They have the power of Satan. He really don't have no power. It's really all an illusion. So when you really have God, you could never oppress God. Like, really, you could never oppress God. It's funny to think of because they really think they are oppressing them, but the oppression only makes God's people stronger because the true God's people, they're warriors. You know what I mean? They're warriors. They get up and they fight. They get up and they keep going. They sin and they keep going. They fall and they keep going. They get attacked and they keep going because you can never hold a child of God down, ever. Okay? So here we go. It says, let us lie in wait for the virtuous man, since he oppresses, reproaches us for our breaches of the law and accuses us of playing false to the upbringing. He claims to have knowledge of God and calls himself a son of the Lord. The very sight of him weighs our spirits down. His way of life is not like other men's. The path he treads is unfamiliar. In his opinion, we are counterfeit. He holds aloof from our doings, as though from filth. He proclaims the final end of the virtuous as happy and boasts of having God as his father. Let us see if what he says is true. Okay, this is the virtuous man. He is like, you know. All right, it says, let us observe what kind of end he himself will have. If the virtuous man is God's son, God will take his part and rescue him from the clutches of his enemy. Let us test him with cruelty and torture, and thus explore this gentleness of his and put his endurance to proof. Let us condemn him to a shameful death, since he will be looked after. We have his word for it. Okay, this is what they're going to do to the Christ. This is what they're going to do to people who have Christ living in them. They're going to kill you. They're going to torture you. They're going to hate you. The devil hates God. And remember what Jesus said. Jesus said, before they hated you, remember they hated me first. Because when you have the Spirit of God in you, they will hate you. They will hate the truth. I always say it's like an exorcism. This is the way they reason, but they are misled. Their malice makes them blind. They do not know the hidden things of God. See, these people are blind. They don't know the hidden things of God. You cannot keep God's children down because they do not know the hidden things of God. They have no hope for holiness. That holiness will be rewarded. They can see no reward for blameless souls. Yet God did make man imperishable. God said he made man imperishable. Do you understand? You cannot die. Like, you can't die. Your soul does not die. He made man in his own image and his own nature. It was the devil's envy that brought death into the world, and those who are his partners will discover. Okay, the only death that's going to happen is the people who are the devil's partners. Okay, this is the Book of Wisdom. We're going to go through this book a little bit more because this book is deep. Y'all got to read the Book of Wisdom. They took the Book of Wisdom out. They don't want you to hear this stuff. You know, we got to be real about that. You know, they don't want you to hear some of these things. But y'all remember, God is powerful. God is so powerful. They want you to kill your soul. They want you to kill it by, listen, see, the thing about the devil is that, the thing about the devil is that he wants you to willingly kill your soul for all the little things that you are attached to. You got to willingly kill it. You got to choose that because God gives you free will and you choose that. So killing the flesh is living through the Spirit. You got to fast. You got to give up the things. See, the only way that God can work through you is if that you kill all that is that of the flesh, because see, you cannot serve two gods. You cannot serve the devil and serve God. So how can God work through you if you are serving Satan? You have to give up the ways of the world. You got to give up the things that are holding your spirit down. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Those things that have been calling to you. Those things that have been hurting you. Those things that you know you need to stop, but you've been fighting them. God says, let them go. God says, let those things go. All right, guys. Anyway, I'm going to make another video about this because I have a lot to say. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.